Okay, well, now that we're kind of speaking a little bit about the staff and how they influenced you, do you have a particular memory or a story that sticks out about your time working in Back Bay Mission, something that you feel comfortable sharing?
Well, actually, this is kind of a side story that was very powerful and that sticks out to me to this day. The first time I was at Back Bay Mission and I was 14 years old, I got there and developed a severe ear infection. I mean, so severe that I could not get out of bed. And the youth minister ended up having to take me to the emergency room. So I go into the emergency room with a doctor, my minister's, of course, not family. He doesn't come in with me. And a middle-aged white doctor comes in and checks me out and then asks me, well, what are you doing in Mississippi? And my naive little self was so excited and proud of what we were doing, coming to Back Bay Mission and, working in the community. And basically his response was, go back north where you came from and mind your own damn business.
Oh, wow. A 14-year-old.
To a 14-year-old.
Wow.
And, I didn't understand until that moment how much the white majority was continuing to try to oppress the Black minority. And that moment lit it up for me in a way that I could have never understood any other way.
Wow, that's a powerful story.
It still sticks with me.
I was going to say, I can see why the passion burned so deeply within you and why you kept returning to the Gulf Coast, because it almost felt like at that point, like a personal challenge to you, right? Like that position almost personally challenged you and your resolve and how deeply you were committed to this cause. And it's awesome to see that you rose to the challenge.
Yes, it was a deep challenge for me, definitely. And I think my passion just increased.
And at that age too, that is such a tender age at 14, because you're just now kind of, reaching out into the real world and you're getting these experiences. And for that guy to act like that to you, it's jarring, but at the same time, I think it kind of, like you said, it demonstrates where society was down here in South Mississippi at the time, and hopefully the progress that's been made in the time since then.
Well, I mean, I look back now at the history, the history of the civil rights movement, and Martin Luther King Jr. died 4 years before that. Of course, it was still a hot topic, but I'm naive and going down there, and I don't realize how hot the topic still is. So yeah, it was a shocker.
Well, and there's a phrase that our current executive director, Reverend James Pennington, has been using in relation to our 100-year anniversary. He was a big fan of John Lewis, the congressman that passed away recently, who used the term good trouble. And it sounds like you were getting into good trouble even back at 14.
Yes, indeed. I think I was.
That's awesome, though, because it really takes supporters like yourself to come from outside of the community to come in and to really help kind of make those changes and kind of push people that may be a little uncomfortable or a little unsure into the right direction. So that's awesome that you were able to come down here. And I'm sorry that he was a jerk to you, but I think overall it worked out, right?
I think you're right.
Okay, well, we're gonna kind of wrap it up a little bit. So, and I think you've already kind of answered this, but I'm gonna kind of let you maybe tie this up in a nice bow. So, from your experiences at Back Bay Mission and the time you spent here, what did you retain? What did you bring with you? What sticks with you to this day about your time at Back Bay Mission?
Probably the strongest thing that I think I learned at Back Bay Mission was to not be judgmental. Because certainly the people around me in high school and even in college had very secure in their minds values for wealth and for pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, and you earn what you deserve to earn. And those values didn't fit for me because of my experience with a different community. And even to this day, I just don't judge. I don't judge people on any criteria, including economic or addiction, mental health. I mean, I think that whole idea to let people be who they are has been the strongest influence from Back Bay Mission.
That is awesome. That reminds me of a quote from our director of client services, Mr. Kenny Washington. He always says that we're all a situation away from being in a situation. And I
Mhm.
think what you said really highlights that because I've been with Back Bay for roughly a year and a half now. And I wasn't as bad as some of the other people, but I did have kind of a lack of education and knowledge about Back Bay Mission and the work they did. And I did at one point when I was younger think, well, yeah, you get what you work for, right? But no, that's not always the case. Not everyone's situation is the same. Not everyone has access to the same resources and the same materials.
Right.
And life happens. Things happen in life that is unexpected. So to come to Back Bay Mission and to hear these stories was really powerful to me. But then to hear from someone like you, who you haven't been to Back Bay Mission in years, and you still are preaching these same ethos and these same ideas and these same thoughts, it's amazing, honestly, to hear. It's really powerful.